Monday. What's the bullshit for today? Well, Dougie Ford, as you've probably read, has backed off on this whole jet fiasco. What the hell does he need a jet for anyway? He is now going to sell that jet that he bought, that ridiculous idea. And it's because of people like you and me who have pushed back on him. And I'll give him a little bit of, kudos then, in that often when Doug Ford is pushed back against a wall, he will renege. He will. Case in point was the Greenbelt development deal, the Starlink deal. The problem is, how much money does he spend in penalties getting out of these ridiculous bullshit deals? How much money? Well, he won't reveal how much he spent in penalties on the Starlink deal. It was a $100 million contract, so I bet it was hefty. So those things, he's pretty secret about. Maybe if he just didn't make such stupid fucking deals in the first place, he wouldn't have to spend all this money getting out of them. But the jet is gone. The other thing I will say about Doug Ford is he does play well in the sandbox with the opposition. He works really well with Carney, and that's not always the case when Pierre Poilievre is a great example of how that doesn't work. Doug Ford can do that. So I'm tossing him two bones, but I'm taking them right back because the Freedom of Information Act is still a real problem. He will not, at this point, he is going to bypass public hearings on that. And why would he want to go to a public hearing and hear things he doesn't want to hear? That's huge. And he also wants to make the bill retroactive to clamp down on his cell phone records. What's in those damn records? Something is in those records that he is scrambling to keep away from us, which makes us have to push on it even more. He should not be fooling around with the Freedom of Information Act. Of all the people that we know in Canadian politics, Doug Ford should not be fucking with the Freedom of Information Act because he uses it in all the worst ways to keep things from us. And as we've seen, we find out too late about shitty deals he's made that we then have to push back and get corrected. By the time we find out, he's already signed a contract and then has to scramble to get out. So it's extremely dangerous, an extremely dangerous precedent to set to mess with the Freedom of Information Act. So back off, Doug. Back off. Okay, your kudos are gone. Canceled. Gone. Happy Monday.